Unreal Engine update coding guidelines are absolutely demented. The list of creative imaginary problems out of ordinary terminology and by ignoring context in an attempt to compel users of their ideological lexicon. Common sense is actively being erased.
You say
Oh
a lot of
god,
big words, Magic Man.
I do.
But yeah,
Shit.
no, this is
Inclusive world choice. Really, Unreal? Is this necessary?
yeah, people might want to really consider not using UT because as what I linked you was a reply to this, and that reply pretty much sums up a pretty big concern.
Master and slave can't be used, period, which is for everything.
That wasn't the reply I linked you. So,
I know. Word list is blacklist, whitelist, master, and slave. Now, for those who are uninitiated in the technological sphere, like building a computer,
yep.
master and slave means various things. Master is usually the main unit, while slave is not. So back in the day when you would have multiple hard drives, and these were a different kind of hard drive than what we have now, master hard drive was your main hard drive, while the
And that would
slaves
connect.
were secondary hard drives that connected with it.
Yep. And based on what it was, master or slave, it would connect somewhere different along the binary strip.
Yeah, it would connect to the master first to boot up the system and everything. The slave may hold like video files or something like that,
It was
among
basically
other
your
things.
storage.
Yeah, so like right now today, if you open up your computer, because I think most computers in this day and age are their hard drives are partitioned,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. Where you have the C drive and then the D drive. So,
Yep.
you've got like a 1 terabyte hard drive. You open up your thing, your C drive is about 119, 120 gigs because it holds all like the operating systems and stuff like that, your system 32 files, the things to make
Master
your PC
partition.
run. That is the master partition, essentially. Like it takes the place of the master hard drive. And you could also partition hard drives back in the day too and do similar things.
It kind of emulated
Meanwhile,
multiple
like
hard drives.
say your D drive, where all your games and stuff happen to be at, that would be the slave partition. Now, whitelist, blacklist, of course, that's more terminology in the tech world. So if you have a whitelist, that allows you to have something pass through. So if you make a Minecraft server, you can set it up to where it blocks anybody trying to enter it except for whoever's on your whitelist. And then you would add users to the whitelist and only they can log into the server. That is one very good way of protecting your server if it's open, out there for somebody to join to.
We learned that the hard way.
Well, considering it was supposed to be open anyway, there wasn't really much we could do. It wasn't a personal thing like the one I've got now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the blacklist, anybody on a blacklist is prevented from doing that. So if Chad jumps into, say, for the example of the Minecraft world and starts yelling the hard R or something, and I've got to blacklist him, he can no longer actually log in at all with that user to that world. That's how that works.
Yeah.
And the fact that these are words you're not allowed to use with Unreal can go fuck itself. The problem is there's only like 3 engines you can use, and that's like Unreal, the other one that I can't remember its name, Unity.
There's Unreal, Unity, Gata,
and Gata, and those are like the 3 main ones, I think, right? And Unity already fucked up because it decided that if you download too many games, they're going to make you pay through the nose and bankrupt you.
Yeah,
and now you've got Unreal saying, oh, by the way, these commonly used terms in technology, you're not allowed to use those.
Yeah, but if you can get to that reply.
Oh, okay.
Or click on the link, because it should send you directly to the reply. Oh, wait, that's it right there.
I did click on the link.
This one right here.
It's this one right here. It's the split link. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah. That's it right there, though. You
All right.
got it.
And what happens when you don't follow these guidelines? Do they steal your work? Do they lock you out halfway through the work? How do they even know what type of language you're using? How do they get access to this?
Very good questions.
Okay. Is there something I'm looking for? Or...
Well, no, that's it. Like
Oh,
those. And now, as podcasters, Zio, clearly you must be taught this. We discuss.
oh, okay. Well, I thought maybe they had replied to it, and you wanted to highlight that
Well,
or something.
so I'm highlighting the crux of what he's asking. These are very good questions and very concerning questions too.
Well, see, if you use Windows 11, it's not that hard to figure out how they get access to it.
Mm-hmm.
Windows 11 will just actively spy on you.
Yeah.
I mean, what's to tell me that Unity's not or Unreal's not doing the same thing? For all I know, you boot up anything with Unreal on it because you're building a game or something. It's just taking snapshots every second and sending it to Unreal to double check your work and make sure you're not using any of these prohibited things.
And what kills me about this is on the fucking back end. The only person that's going to see this is the developer. It's such a stupid thing.
Yeah, and if you're a developer and things like whitelist and blacklist and master and slave offend you, get out of tech.
Yeah.
Like fucking seriously. This is not the first time that conversation has come up, and the fact that it is coming up again 7 years later, mind you, because I think the first time I ever heard them talking about this was back in 2014, 2013. Means the terminology hasn't gone away.
Yeah.
And it never fucking will. I'm sorry.
No, because
you can't just flip a switch and call it something like what are you going to use? The gray list? The rainbow list?
Oh, let's
are you
go
going to
over
get people to try and start doing that? So rainbow is letting people through, and then the gray list is for denying access.
Okay, so let's go.
Master and slave could actually be changed into like primary and secondary if you want to. However, it's going to have to be like encoded in the DNA of all tech moving forward.
Primary and secondary isn't too bad.
Yeah.
But like with the whitelist and blacklist, those are some very, I'm just going to say, retarded alternatives. Yeah. Allow list, deny list, block list. Block list, that's not even what a blacklist is.
Well, it is. It's
block is a response to something.
Well, no, when you blacklist, you're blocking them. It's a deny list, exclusion list, avoidance list. All these alternatives are technically correct, but this is terminology for all tech that they know what it is. If you say an exclusion list, there's a high likelihood that guy you got in from India has no idea what the hell you mean when you say an exclusion list.
Also, permission
but if you say blacklist, he gets it.
Yeah.
And the master is the primary source, the controller. Template, I wouldn't go with that. The reference, no. Main, leader, original, base, maybe. But yeah, essentially like primary and secondary for master and slave, that's fine. It's whatever. But again, this is language that is just known worldwide.
But
essentially in tech.
What gets me is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't matter if you're like Indian or, French or Canadian or Afghani or whatever it is. If you're in tech, you understand what these words are.
What gets me is that if you look at the alternatives in the year of our Lord 2024, a lot of these are technically problematic, like base. Oh wow, is that short for based? Are you making a based list?
Is your list right leaning?
Yeah.
Your list is now what is it? Alt-right. It's
Wait,
an
you're making
alt-right
it inclusive,
dog
which means
whistle.
you're being exclusionary. So
And when
yeah,
it
it's
comes to
stupid.
slave, like replica, that doesn't even make sense because
No.
the slave drive is not a replica drive. It the only thing that even comes close is like secondary because that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a secondary drive on your system that houses things that
And
is
that
not
actually is
the
a term.
master control.
I've actually heard that term when I was in college. We would call primary drive, secondary drive, master slave. They were
Yeah,
interchangeable.
yeah, and I've actually called like master primaries before because those are like the only real words that are interchangeable in the tech world, and you still know what it is. A primary system is the master system, while a secondary system is a slave system.
Yeah.
Cluster node, and some of these actually already have terms in the tech world that are different from this, like
Yeah.
cluster node. A
Why
cluster
pronouns
node
don't
is
work.
nodes in the cluster, which has an actual definition to how the network fucking runs, you dumbasses.
This is how you know.
Locked is even retarded, even more retarded. It's
Yeah.
like the lock. It's on your locked drive. What? Why would my drive be locked? That makes no sense.
This, I'm positive this was made by an HR intern and not anybody that was in tech at the Unreal Engine company.
No, it might have actually been made by one of their tech people who's, you know, very, what's the word? Snowflakey.
I guess they clearly don't know tech at all.
Let's see. Many terms that we use for our tech meanings also have other uses outside of. Yes, there's a lot of words out there that, when used in a profession, mean a certain thing, while outside may mean something completely different. It happens in every fucking profession.
That's why
Get the
context
fuck
is
over it.
king.
That's why context matters. When you're using words like these, always be precise and examine the context in which they appear. Well, yeah, they probably will. I mean, if you're looking at code and you're referring to something in the code, it is always the context of the fucking code.
Yeah.
There's no other context whatsoever. If you're sitting there and you're talking about the master drive and some poor sap walks by your office while you're talking to one of your other guys or girls about how the master drive is having some kind of memory leak that needs to be fixed, right?
Yep.
And then they run to HR. He said, "Master, like I was a slave or something." HR should look at him, call him a dumbass, and send him back.
You know how that plays out, though.
I mean, granted, we know whoever said it is getting fired now, but still, it's just ridiculous.
But yeah, not a fan, and
Do
I
not
think
use
that this is going to
profanity.
backfire amazingly.
And this is all about the back end, too. The stuff
Yeah.
that people don't see. Now, granted, there are players who are going to see the back end because PC players like to dive into the code and shit like that as much as they can, and they get that. But most players, the normies and stuff, they're never going to see that Billy Bob or Katie wrote a note in a line of code for Kobe to shoot a three-pointer, or for any player to shoot a three-pointer, and it goes into the net or whatnot. Who wrote that code for that animation that says Kobe's a bitch in the note line? Nobody's ever going to see that except for
Well,
the developers.
let me go over this too. Go back down to slang, where the last point under slang.
Yeah, do not use profanity.
Fuck that. And here's why. I'm about to say content creators. Um, Software developers, depending on the project, will work 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 hours a week And you're telling them that they can't blow off steam on something that nobody's going to see but them?
Yeah, I mean, it's not unheard of. There's people who've done videos of some of the most unhinged rants in the notes sections found in some of these old
Yeah,
games.
no, it's great. Finding those
And
is like
it's just
finding a
hilarious to see it. And it's like,
I
damn.
mean, if I want to put a variable in for a bullet being shot and call it fuckface variable, who gives a damn? I'm blowing off steam because I'm annoyed that I'm doing overtime.
Do not use words that refer to historical trauma or lived experiences of discrimination. These include slave, master, and nuke. So when you write in the line, Katie, I need you to nuke this line, it doesn't work, or whatever, or nuke the code for X, Y, and Z, you can't do that.
Well, I got a better one for you. Helldivers. Nuke?
But this is the code, not the game itself. Because we know that's not going to fly because, profanity in games is a
But
thing.
but how are you going to assign a variable to that without using the word nuke?
Clear lines 1 through 43. I mean, there's other ways to say it, but
Well, no, I'm saying if I make a variable for a atomic bomb,
then you're probably going to call it nuke in the code and write the code to correlate with the missile bomb, whatever it is.
exactly.
Yeah,
But now
I
I
guess you can
can't. I got
put
to call it
big
something
boom,
else. I can't call it atomic bomb because
big boom stick.
like the whole freaking world's just gone fucking brain dead lately.